Hi, hello, it's me again. I'm back. My name is Marina. I'm 58 and I live in Sweden. Yesterday I yesterday. Today is Wednesday, the 26th, and if you know me, I can never remember the date, so I have put up a calendar on the wall. I was talking about that yesterday in the video I did then as well. Never mind. I was filming yesterday a subscribers request video, and I was talking about me uploading and what I should talk about, and filming in the mornings and all of that. Well, now it's morning, it's 8 o'clock soon. I'm on my way to work, and I'm getting ready. So this, I will try to be quick. This is a video that was requested by Cheryl from Scotsmnswife, is her Insta account. I don't think she has a YouTube channel. I know she hasn't, I think. And she wanted me to do a look with the Nightshade by BH Cosmetics. It's a purple one. And you know me, I am a big purple lover. I used this palette once. There are only 3 mattes and the rest are shimmers. Really gorgeous shimmers. I've used that one and it's bomb. So I will try not to use that one. It's hard not to use these again because these are the only 3 mattes in the palette, as I said. And I will actually also that was Swedish, also cheat a little bit and use my black carbon by MAC, because last time I used it I had a really dark matte purple in my outer corner that a single that I have, and so not to make this look be almost the same as that one, I will use a black instead and another shimmer. I will also try to use this one. I bought, I think it was 4 of these on the Black Friday sale at P. Louise, 4 colored ones. This one is pretty dark, but it turns out a bit pink when you kind of blend it out a bit. And I will use that on my mid lid, I think, because it makes the shimmers pop like. It stains a lot, though. You should know that if you want to try this. Excuse me, I'm looking at my hair. So if you don't like that, don't use them, but I don't care. The staining is gone the next day. So that's that. I have prepared my face. My primer is the text is almost gone. Bear With Me Jelly Primer from NYX. My base is All Nighter Waterproof Long Wear Liquid Foundation from Urban Decay. I'm trying to use this up because I've had it for a while and I don't think it is the best for me. It kind of enhances my pores and I don't like that. And it's very light, bright. So I need to use it during winter when I'm at my palest. My powder is Anastasia Loose Setting Powder in Vanilla, big S. And my bronzer is Milk Chocolate Soleil by Too Faced. I have the old one. This one is also pretty bright for me, so I'm using it during the winter and I'm trying to use it up. I have a huge pan. So this is the old packaging. I even got the box. I always save the boxes. It looks like flappy thing. I'm going to get this one in a dark. I have the darker one, but it's a sample, so that one I use in the summer. My blush is the Elva Fruit Blusher Fruit Blusher Sweet Peach from Oden's Eye. Really pretty. And my highlight, and I will probably need to reapply that one when I'm done with my eyes, because I will powder under my eyes and then the highlighter always kind of disappears. Also by Oden's Eye, the Elva 2 highlighter palette, and I used this one. I'm trying not to ruin that little butterfly. It's so cute. It's an overspray and it will be gone if I put my brush in there, so I'm using this corner. It's so pretty, and it's a blue shift in this, blue purple shift in that highlighter. Yeah, so what should we start with? I have not been talking to someone yet, so excuse my voice. Cheers. Coffee. Yeah, so of course I uploaded my video yesterday. I filmed it yesterday also, and I was talking about not having something to talk about. I will start with powdering under my eyes. I used it once, as I said, this palette, and I don't remember if there was any fallout. Like that. And then I will take that one, it's called Shady, and I will put it, as per usual I forgot to prepare my brushes. This is from Artitude Cosmetics, they have no names, and I will just run it through along my brow bone. Yes, I was talking about yesterday about not having something to talk about. There's not a lot happening in my life, as I said. I just work and get home, and if I'm not working, I'm home with my pain attacks. So there's not a lot of stuff happening in my life. Doesn't give you a lot of input about things to talk about. I don't watch movies, I don't watch series on TV. I think it's boring, and I haven't got the patience to be still for several hours in front of the TV. If I watch something, I always have my computer in my lap and my phone next to me, doing stuff with makeup related stuff, Instagram, my blog, my YouTube, I mean, or just browsing makeup sites. So that I only have one eye at the TV. And my hubby, he likes to watch you know, like historical things, World War II, or animal nature related stuff, and I'm not that much into that. I can watch it for a while, but not hours and hours, and he can, so I'm there with my computer instead, and he's watching the TV. And then I will take the darkest purple, cast a spell, that one, and I will take that one in my crease. So I was thinking maybe I should just tell you a bit about myself, where I'm from, how I ended up here, where I live. Where I live now. I'm not from here from the beginning. I actually just got here by accident. I was born in the northern parts of Sweden, in a town called Sollefteå, high up in the north. Not the furthest, the highest up, but pretty high up. And then we moved when I was just like 5 or 6, a bit further down, but still in the northern parts, to a small village called Funäsdalen, that is in the northern parts of Sweden, and I lived there for the whole school, all my years through school. I'm not sure if I'm able to do this because I can talk and do this at the same time. Looking for now I will take the black one, Carbon by MAC. Yeah, so my father had a job that he was constantly traveling around, so he was never at home during the weeks. So before me and my brother started school, we moved a lot, but when we started school we lived in this place, Funäsdalen, and then we stopped moving and he had to travel a lot instead, because it wasn't good for us to change school all the time. So my mother and me and my brother, at the time I only had one brother, I got another brother when I was 12, but at that time it was me and my brother closest to me. I'm the oldest. He's 2.5 years younger than me. So we stopped moving so that we can be at the same school throughout our whole school years. And my father had to travel instead, so it was, his jobs were always so far away that he couldn't, he needed to be away the whole weeks. Left on Sunday afternoon, came back home at Friday afternoon. And that was really good for us, but not so good for him, I guess. We didn't think a lot about it at the time. We just thought that's the way it was. We were too small to understand. It must have been really tough and hard. So we stayed there until I finished high school. Well, no, in Sweden you go first 9 years of, do you say primary school? I don't know how you call it in English. I will cut my crease using this one. So the first 9 years we went there. High school, the village where I grew up is too small, it doesn't have a high school. Gymnasium, we say, gymnasium, I don't know, as we say in Swedish. So I have to go like 2-hour ride to the closest high school. So I did that for 2 years, and then I kind of never got back home. I met my first boyfriend, and after high school I stayed there and worked for a little bit. This is really dark. I can't see where I'm putting the line. So I stayed there first 2 years in high. I only did 2 years in high school. Now there is no 2 here. You need to go at least 3. But I am so old, you know. Rules have changed. So when I'm done with high school, I stayed for a while and worked, but then I was offered a job in Stockholm. That was really far away from where I lived then. Did I say the high school was like 2 hours away from where I lived and grew up? Where I grew up, I'm jumping here, it was also a ski resort. It's a very popular place for people to go when you want to go skiing. So it's a tourist place. So during the seasons there were a lot of people in this very small village and the areas around it. Many villages close to each other, and they all have ski slopes. And I used to work when I was in school. I worked on the weekends and on the what do you say is when you have, you know, summer holidays. And I worked at in the ski where they serve you beverages and sandwiches and for the tourists. I am now taking the potent, that one. So that's where I worked, and that continued on while I was doing my first year in high school. And since high school was so far away, I needed to be away during the weeks. So I left on Sunday afternoon and came back home on Friday. And I worked during Saturday and Sunday, and then I took the bus back to school again. Me and my friend rented a little room where we lived during the weeks, and that was common. Everybody did that, so it's nothing strange about that. So I finished high school 2 years later, and then I moved to Stockholm because I was offered a job, and where I lived there was really hard to get a job at that time, and I think it still is. Maybe I should try and spray it. So I moved to Stockholm and started to work, and I stayed there for 35 years. Of course I changed jobs. I've been working with a lot of stuff. I had like at least 10 different, 10, I don't remember, a lot of different, mostly office things at first. I was a secretary, and that was also the education I took in high school. But then I met my now ex-husband, and that was in 95. And we got 3 children, got married, bought a house, had 3 daughters. And when I was going back to work after my 3rd daughter was born, well, I had worked in between the kids, but not so much. In Sweden you can be at home for a year or even more, depends on how you distribute your money. You get, I don't know if it's 75 or 80% of your salary when you're home on maternity leave, and you get that for like a year. But if you don't use the money, I don't know how to explain this. you can choose how many days a week you want to have those money. So if you don't take them 7 days a week, you can be at home for a longer period. Depends on how you can afford to distribute the money. And the man, the daddy, has the right to be at home equally as long. You can split the days between you. Anyhow, I was at home 1 year each with each child, and by this time we had bought a house, as I said, living just outside Stockholm. We were married and together for a period of 15 years. And then we divorced, and that was not a trauma. I found it really, it was a relief for me. But never mind. And I had to move to a smaller apartment, and I had the children with me. They were with their dads every second weekend, and I had them full time for the rest, because he moved to a place that was too far away that they couldn't travel to school from him. Otherwise it's common that you have them every second week, the whole week, but well, he did what he did. I love this. I need to have track of time. I will wipe. There wasn't a huge amount of fallout, so I will wipe the powder away. After a while, after we had divorced, I met a guy. He was a bit younger than me, and he lived in the southern parts of Sweden, like 5 hours ride by car from Stockholm. And that was of course a problem. We met online, of course, and we started to email each other, and after a while we decided to meet. So we started to visit each other. So I went to him once a month, and he went to me once a month, and then we did that back and forth for a couple of years. And I was there on my vacation, and I brought my kids, and I met his kids, and we decided that I should move to him. So I did. The kids didn't want to come along, so they stayed with their fathers, and I moved there, and I was there for a year and a half. And it turns out he was very violent. He turned into a completely different person when he was drinking, and he was abusive, and he wasn't nice when he was sober either. That was something I didn't realize until it was too late. So I had, in a hurry, I needed to move back home to Stockholm. By then I had left my apartment. I didn't have anything left, and it's really hard to get an apartment in Stockholm. It takes years if you just want to be a rental. And I couldn't afford to buy one. I am taking the darkest matte caster spell, that one under my eye, and I will also go in with the black later on. So I had to stay with my mother's. He and her husband has my mother is divorced and remarried since like 40 years back. My father passed away, or she was divorced, and then he passed away in the early 90s. He ended up an alcoholic. Where is my brush? I'm blind. Never mind, I'll take another one. Well, so she's been remarried for years and years. So I moved. They have a place also in the northern parts of Sweden where they are retired, so they are in their summer house from like beginning of May to beginning of October, and I came back from southern Sweden in beginning of June, so I could stay in their flat the whole summer alone. But then they came back in October, end of September, I don't remember. I was still there for the whole winter. The next spring I couldn't stay there anymore, so I got to live with my brother. Still haven't found any place to live. I will take the... Which one should I take? These are almost the same. Bloody Bouquet and Devil's Berries. That one and that one almost look the same. I will take the Bloody Bouquet and I will spray it. Yes, I moved to my brother's, and he is living where I now work, in the same city, but he's a bit outside. He has a how do you say that? It used to be a farm, but it's not anymore. He just have the buildings, but they don't have cows, but their buildings are still there. So in one of the buildings they have made a guest house, so that's where I stayed. And then of course during all this time I had to change jobs all the time, and by now when I was starting to work after my last kid was born, I had been in an office for my whole work life, and now I started to work in stores. In a store, it was a clothing shop, and I liked that so much. It was really fun and one of the best working years in my life. I had so much fun because it's a small private shop, private owned. We could kind of do whatever we liked, buy whatever we wanted to the store, and that was fun. I'm losing track of everything. I was going to be quick. This is not quick. Yeah, so I moved to my brother and I stayed there for a year, and then I couldn't be there anymore, so I needed to again find a place of my own, which is really difficult if you don't have money in this country. So I started to look online on people wanting to rent their places, rent them out to people, and I found this small little house. Uppsala, where I'm working, is like an hour from Stockholm, and then when I found this house for rent, it was another hour outside Uppsala. So by then I also met my hubby. We're not married, but it's easier to call him hubby. We live together. So we were going back and forth to his place and my place and this place that I was renting for a couple of years. Then things changed for him at his work. His work was, he's working at a famous place in Sweden. They manufacture toilets and you call the thing where you wash your hands sinks, and they also have another apartment where they make china. Do you say china? Plates where you eat from, and pots and pans, and it's called Gustavsberg. It's a famous brand, and the place where he lived is also Gustavsberg. It's outside Stockholm. They were selling out, all the production is moving abroad, and it's an old ancient Swedish company went to the grave, and he's been working there for like 40 years, and they gave him a leave of notice. So he was out of a job, and that gave us the possibility to move in together, because then he needed to sell his apartment, get a new job, all of that, and then he could get a job where I lived. And that wasn't easy. It's not easy to get a job when you're a bit older in Sweden, because you're considered already out. Stupid, because you're the one with the most experience. I'm reapplying my highlighter, trying not to ruin my little butterfly there. So for the money that he got from selling his apartment, because he didn't have a rental, he had bought it, we bought this house. And he eventually, in the last minute, before getting out of money, he got a job. And now he only have 2 years to retirement. I have 7. And I will also take this in my inner corner. It's called sylphs. I haven't got a clue what that means. Sylphs. I guess it's something with the Nordic something, I don't know. I should look it up. Need some more blush. Yeah, well, so now we live here. We're kind of in the middle of Sweden. Not quite, but these ones have a funny smell to it. I work an hour here, away from here, by car. It takes longer with train and bus. In Uppsala, and he lives just a couple of miles, 2 miles. That's Swedish miles. That likes it's 17 kilometers. 1 mile is 10. Eyeliner, fluid line, black. No, wait. Ooh, should I take? No, I feel like a black one. I have a lot of new ones from BH Cosmetics. Yes, so we've been in this house for almost, in beginning of May it will be 4 years. So I don't know if I make any sense. I don't know what I've been talking about. Where I grew up, as I said, was a ski resort, you could say. A lot of tourists coming there during the winter for skiing. I'm not a fan of skiing. My school was so close to the, what do you say, place where you ski, the hill, mountain. So we had to go skiing during our gymnastics lessons. And when it's forced on you, it's not as fun. But I realize now that was a really luxury thing to have. I didn't understand it then, because we were so close to the, what do you say, slope? No, I don't know. The place where it was downhill skiing. the mountains. The school was just at the foot of the mountain, and I was living in between the foot of the mountain where you jump on the lift that takes you up. So the lift, my home, school. So when the lessons were done and we were going to go back to school again, the school building, I could just keep my skis on, go all the way down to my home, put the skis with the front door, outside the front door, and just walk down to the school. It took me 1 minute. I didn't realize it then, but I realize now that was really a luxury thing. Because I lived so close to both school and I don't know the name. Why don't I? The mountains, slope, what do you say? Oh, this is the wing that got all out of hand. Never mind. Oh, I shouldn't be talking and do this at the same time. That's that. Yeah, so I guess I could call myself lucky for having that when I grew up. I haven't been back since 95. 95 I met my father's children's father, and we were up there together with my brother and his wife. They weren't married then, but they are now. And we went skiing it was Easter, I think, 95, and since then I haven't been there. I have no one left up there. My father passed away, my mother lives in Stockholm, and yeah. This is the Lash Princess mascara by Essence. Yes, something like that. I will go and have breakfast, and then I will put on a lippy of some sort, and sorry for the mirror. Yeah, and finish up, and then I will come back to you. See you in a bit. Yeah, so I'm back. I had my breakfast, brushed my teeth, finished off my makeup, black on the waterline, and I used the, oh my god, I need my glasses, the Frenemy lipstick from Juvia's Place. Looks like this. I love this type of color. So that will be on my lips today, and this one will go with me to work. And I also took my contact lenses out and my purple glasses on. So this is it for me. I hope I did not bore you with my story. I'm not good at storytelling. I need to show you the look. Something like this. So this is for you, Cheryl, and of course everybody else. I am about to go to work. I will be back at 9:30 tonight. I won't be able to edit or do something, so I don't know when this will be up, but within the next few days, I think. Okay, hope you have a nice day or night or whatever you are. Thank you for watching and listening. Take care and be careful out there. Bye bye.